Hi, my name is Karina Akidal. I'm the managing editor of Canadian Auto Dealer, and I'm here with Oumar Dicko, chief economist at CADA, who will discuss the association's latest survey. So, Oumar, maybe you can launch right into this and explain a little bit about the survey, what it is, what's included, and some of the key findings that really stuck out.
Hey, Karina, thanks for having me here today. So a year into the pandemic, the association, the Canadian Automobile Dealers Association, conducted a one-year survey to determine and gauge the impact of COVID-19 on new vehicle dealership in Canada, and also determine how dealers across the country fared with the impact of COVID-19. So the survey was conducted in April, between April 1st and April 15th. And we had over 535 dealerships responding to the survey, which is a pretty good sample from all our members across the country.
So I understand also the survey touched a little bit on the wage subsidy.
Yeah.
There were some concerns that dealers had about vehicle supply and also maybe if they're getting their fair share of that supply in Canada. Are you able to touch on that as well?
Yeah, absolutely. A key finding of the survey, from the result of the survey, our internal estimates showed that the wage subsidy program helped protect close to 48,000 employees at vehicle dealerships across Canada, which is quite significant. And it also shows that the wage subsidy program and other federal government relief programs were a critical lifeline for dealerships and their employees throughout this crisis. We're certainly pleased that the government extended the wage subsidy until September to continue providing support to businesses and dealerships that are still struggling from the current crisis with the COVID cases resurging across the country. And COVID restriction being tightening again across Canada. So it's certainly a welcome support from the federal government. And our results show that it was certainly instrumental in protecting jobs at vehicle dealerships across Canada.
And so on vehicle supply, what is the concern that dealers have? I mean, we all know that there's a shortage, there's the microchip issue to consider. How are dealers feeling? What was indicated in the survey?
Absolutely. So from the finding from the survey showed that dealers across Canada are really concerned about vehicle supply in the next coming months as a result of the global shortage of microchips and semiconductors. Dealers have indicated that there are concerned that in the next coming months there could be shortages in new vehicle supply across Canada. That is a serious concern for vehicle dealerships in the coming months.
And then I guess that helps maybe boost their other concern that they're not getting their fair share, or is that accurate?
Yeah, I mean, with potential shortages happening in the coming months from the global shortage of microchip, dealers in Canada are certainly concerned that they may not be getting their fair share of vehicle supply, and that is a concern that CADA takes very seriously. And in the coming months, we'll be working with the manufacturers across Canada to ensure that vehicle dealerships in Canada still get their fair share of new vehicle supply despite the shortages.
Perfect. Well, I also want to take an opportunity to discuss the luxury tax. It wasn't included in the survey, but maybe you can touch on that as well. I know CADA has been doing a lot of work towards that. It was a bit of a disappointment that it was included in the federal budget this year. So maybe you can expand on that as well.
Yeah, well, we're pleased to see that the government extended critical programs such as the wage subsidy program, the rent subsidy program to the fall to continue providing support to businesses and workers. We were disappointed that the government took the steps to introduce a new luxury tax on luxury vehicles over $100,000. This was a proposal that was included in the Liberal government platform in 2019, which CADA and the automotive industry with the Manufacturers Association advocated against over the past couple of years. But this proposal was made in the budget to introduce a new luxury tax as of January 2022. It is a concern for the automotive industry, for vehicle dealerships across Canada, who are in the midst of recovering from a crisis like no other in recent history. It's certainly not sound policy, but on the good, on the bright side, the details are not finalized yet, but for what we know, the taxes will not be applied to the whole amount, uh, to the whole amount of $100,000, but more to the marginal amount over $100,000, which is something that the association also advocated for, and we're pleased that the government listened and decided to have the tax applied to the marginal amount over $100,000. The other good news is that the legislation to actually introduce the tax will be tabled in the House of Commons in the fall, which provide us a couple of months and an opportunity for dealers to shape the details in the legislation and work to minimize the impact on the industry. Our CADA is involved in current discussions with the federal government, along with the Manufacturers Association, to ensure that the industry perspective is understood and the details while the details are finalized and dealership operation is also understood.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to do this interview, Oumar, and I wish you, your family, and your team good health and safety during this pandemic period.
Thanks, Karina, to yourself and your family as well, and to all the dealers across Canada. Thank you very much.